Alright, I'm going live. Most people are gonna, I don't know. Anthony Cruz, Ryan. Tackle Cat. Yeah, I mean, yeah, something that kind of resembles a topic, is something I came across was they're lowering, and I already kind of gave up on California, but they're actually lowering penalties for pedophiles in California. From what I know, I think it's legislation that blanket lowers the penalties. Um, let me actually see exactly what it says. So here's exactly here's exactly what it is. Is it says California legislature passes bill reducing penalties for oral anal sex with willing children. Um, so that's going on in California, and yeah, it's really fucked up. Um, it's like I don't get if that's somehow a progressive movement of some sort, because it's like it kind of came full circle where it's like, I think a part of, those kind of measures would be meant to be reducing harm, but they're at this point they're now defending child predators. I don't see how there's any value in that. Um, but yeah, up until this point, I don't consider California a state. California. What is the video that Weirdo Cam just dropped? I don't know. What did he drop? Queued up the video. I've just been kind of seeing baseball videos. I'm on the video? What? Oh my god. Is it of is it of a panel or is it wow, I don't know. I did not know that it was in a video. Saviola Canadian needs to move there. Yeah, something about locksmith's breakdown. Yeah, that happened during a catch. Uh, you know, that happened. I remember that happened he was doing a catch. And he was just going crazy in chat, which arguably distracted from the catch. It's an hour long. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to check that out and shit. I don't know. Post a link. Toss the link here and there. Hey, Dragon. Hey, Tracy. Here, Joe Kitty. I don't know, bro. Ed isn't a chomo, bro. Yeah, it's always these stretched out bros. Like, bro, not a chomo, bro. Gonna call me a chomo for one to hang out with 15-year-olds? Bro, that's not cool, bro. I don't know. I really don't know. Here, Joe Kitty Kitty. What's up, Brian? Much love from California. I mean, I guess I don't have an issue with people from California. It's more of the legislation, you know. Has like ever abducted you in his Tromobile? Who in his Tromobile? I don't know. Sorry about that. I can't control that, bro. I'll let that go this time. Oh, I would have to answer no to that. What's up, FM? Sorry to say, I'm in California as well, born and raised. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I get this. I kind of could see visiting there. I couldn't see living there though. I mean, like I could see like wanting to maybe check out like maybe San Francisco or LA or something like that. But it's just it's run like shit. It's run like it really is. It's run like absolute shit. You know, I'm in the house. Yeah, it's like yeah. I heard you need like about $100,000 a year to even live and survive. That's it's like I mean, where I'm at, you can. I mean, I've been living off of like 24,000, something like that. Um, so It's like I get like income disparities and everything between different states, but that big, quadruple. Because like there are homeless people with that make like 60K a year there. Well, it's beautiful. Well, it's a beautiful place to live. It's like all states in one. Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, I could see visiting there, but I mean, it doesn't even seem possible to live there. It's just like you can't live there. I mean, if you have to make $100,000 to live there, then I mean, the average person just has no business living there unless you're, I guess, unless you're rich. That's why it's so expensive to live there. I mean, though, although if you go to certain places, though, I mean, it kind of like places in LA. I mean, I don't look at you know homeless problems as like just homeless people being pests or anything. I don't look at it like that. But I see it as a genuine, uh, I don't know, more of like humanitarian issue where like if that's what society offers, where most of the people are going to be homeless, then it's just like homelessness everywhere. It's badly designed as a society or civilization. Yeah, I'm just not interested in Gen A though enough. I mean usually it's like I'm not really into I get like not making splitting lives, splitting people up, but it's kind of like I think there is a difference between people that would care about that and people that don't care about that, and I mean I just don't care about that. It's like if someone wants to be, if someone wants to be a Bible thumper, I have no issue with that. I'm not against it. I'm not gonna make my arguments against it, you know. I mean, part of a free society is just letting people believe what they want to believe. Yeah, I've heard. I mean, I've heard really bad things like that. I mean, that's what I mean. You can live. You really can live there without making 100,000. Are you sure? I mean, basically I've heard enough about California to be deterred from California. I'll just say that at the very least. I've been successfully deterred. Almost live in LA, and now more people are more living out in the desert, where it's a bit cheaper, but 114 in the middle of summer. No thanks for me. I'll stay in the Midwest, make good money, enjoy life. California, worst state in the U.S. Fact. It just turned to it just that's just turned to a fuck California panel. The Midwest. Where is the Midwest? We have Mandingo, otherwise known as FCC.
Yes, sir. Ryan, how are you?
Uh, it's going.
Yeah, I thought I'd come up not looking to defend California in all of her beauty, but I'm happy to answer questions as a lifelong Californian.
Oh, you're in there? You live in California?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one, I just kind of my main issue is that basically they're making their laws looser and looser, and they're almost like turning into a pro pedophilic state.
Yeah,
That's like my
yeah,
main issue.
yeah. Same could be said for Massachusetts, right?
No, not at all. Very big
No?
difference. No,
Really?
because like, yeah, huge difference.
Okay. Let's. How? How's that?
Because Massachusetts thinks pedophiles are bad.
Well, thinking is one thing, but if you actually look at
Oh no,
laws
but
and
they throw people in jail for that.
okay, and they don't throw people in jail for that in California.
Do they?
Yeah, of course they do.
Of course they do.
Yeah. I mean, not at the rate that I think you or I would like to see, but um,
They have a rate.
you know what I mean.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, when I see things like that, I mean, that they're just saying like willing children and they want to loosen up the laws. And I mean, it just makes it seem like they just are actually trying to push. They're actually trying to, it just seems like they're actually trying to almost condone pedophilia. I mean, and Massachusetts does not do that. If you like Jay, PB Mass, like, and
Mm-hmm.
what I've done to catch, like when we get a person, they they don't like child molesters. They actually enforce the law based on the information. They're pretty good about that. But
So what happened with this FTK situation and this kid that apparently committed the R word against a young person and like received a light to like no sentence in the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
so, from my understanding, it's something that just happened. So I mean, the law probably didn't take effect yet. But I mean, I think it's fair game that it should
Yeah,
absolutely take effect
yeah.
as
I
soon
think
as
I think you got to
possible.
do a little bit more research, but I mean, in general, I agree. I'm not. I don't disagree with you. I think it's disgusting, right? In any state, if people are not willing to take a stand on that. But I think it goes hand in hand also with, in general, like where you see states that will go light on things like that, they go light on other things, right? It's just like a general, like soft on crime stance, which I don't stand for at all.
Well, I mean, I just don't like states that basically say that it's okay to molest kids. I
Sure.
mean, Massachusetts doesn't believe that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we would have to like look at the data, look at the different, state statutes and what's written into, the actual law and then how that's followed up.
Well, I mean, speaking of law, I mean, it looks like if certain legislators get their way, I guess they're just going to be able to just molest kids left and right.
What does that
And
mean?
so specifically, what I mean is California legislator passing bill
What's the
reducing
bill?
penalties.
What's the bill? What AB or SB is it?
Oh wait, what's the bill?
I mean, is there a particular
Oh, I
assembly
actually
bill
don't
or
have that in
Senate
front of me.
bill?
I can
Okay, yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, if you have that
Yeah, so what I'm
information, you
seeing
can let
is
me
it says
know.
California
Yeah.
legislator.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
California tends to be like light on shit like that. I'm with you. And as a resident of the state, I don't support that shit.
yeah, and I mean, I'll admit, like, if Massachusetts gets it wrong, like, like, there's certain areas where Massachusetts, like certain areas of Massachusetts, probably, Framingham would be a good example, or certain. I mean, it depends on the area, but
Right.
Massachusetts can get it wrong too. But it just seems like a reoccurring theme of, you know, um, legislators kind of. I feel like they're actually hijacking the LGBTQ movement to actually further pedophilia. That's my impression. Like that's, I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay.
use the word hijack very
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean.
specifically.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I'm not going to say that you're right, but I think that there's definitely some merit to what you are saying in terms of a overall like package of, here's what we should accept and here's what we shouldn't accept.
Yeah, I
I
won't
mean,
accept molesting kids.
of course, dude. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you have to think. Okay, politicians care about what?
Sometimes molesting kids
No, dude, come on. What do politicians care about?
depends on the politician. I
They
mean,
care about
Anthony
they
Weiner
care
was
they
something
care about
like
being
this.
politicians, and the only way they can be politicians is to get votes, right? And in places like California or Illinois or Oregon or Massachusetts, in like liberal enclaves, like they do research, their teams do research, and they figure out what the big issues are.
Wait, you think they
Um,
make their decisions based off of research?
Research that will get votes. It's called polling, of course. Yeah,
Yeah, but do you think they even care about their constituents enough to even cater to their interests?
you're missing my point. They care about votes.
No, they don't.
You don't think they care about votes?
Nope.
All right. Well, maybe we'll disagree on that. I
Like
think we're saying the same thing. I think we're just using different language,
they count
right?
on what they do is they count on a low voter turnout, and they have a two-party system where both of the parties will be beholden to corporate interests that are beholden to
Yeah,
their donors.
that
So
too,
there's
that too for
so
sure. But you still
both
have to have the
votes
votes.
are
You still
against.
have to have votes, even if it's a 20% or a 30%, or if it's in a presidential cycle, 50 or 60% on the high end. You still have to have votes, right? And so
But
they do.
it doesn't matter who gets voted in though. It doesn't matter.
Um, well, I think there's definitely some truth to what you're saying. I think in like places like California, um, I mean, it doesn't matter what state you're in. You're still looking at the overall composition of a state's legislature, right? So you might be like you might run for office in Massachusetts, and you might have a very particular viewpoint on crimes against children, which I think in general we all share, and you might bring those concerns to the state capital, and people are like, Ryan, you're too extreme. We're gonna lose, right? We can't win on this issue. And you're like, it's about kids, right? We're like, well, do you want to even be in a position to have this conversation? Because if you do, then that's where people start selling out. They sell out their values, they sell out their communities, in order to just get votes, and that happens on both sides of the aisle, Democrat,
Yeah, man.
Republican.
Yeah, no, it does 100%. No, I actually 100% agree. Like that, I
Yeah,
can't even distinguish like
yeah,
even the Democrats from the Republicans. There's no even distinction. I can't really like the
yeah.
distinction is so small. Like it's more of a cultural distinction than a political distinction. There's pretty much no
You're right.
difference.
You're right. I mean,
Effectively, that's actually what I'd say.
it's easier to distinguish based on what they say, but when you actually measure what they do, it's harder to distinguish. They love talking. They love talking the talk, right? The leftists love talking the left. The conservatives love talking the conservative. But at the end of the day, what they actually do and the kind of laws they support,
Great.
I'm like, fuck, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, at the end of
they're
the day,
spot
like
on.
Hillary Clinton wants the same thing as George Bush. So there's really no like, there's like a pseudo difference. There's like
Yeah,
different noises and sounds, but there's no real difference.
yeah.
Um,
Not
you
gonna
know,
not gonna disagree with you on that, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would say the first thing would be removing money in politics. So it's not that, like it should be about
hundred
values and
percent,
issues
hundred
and everything.
percent. Yeah, I mean the
Um,
removing money from like campaigning, removing the ability of groups to fund independent expenditure campaigns, the whole dark money thing, which comes in on both sides, right? It's like, oh, George Soros, oh, the Koch brothers, whatever, like they're all fucking evil, right? And they all have billions of dollars to fund
yeah,
everything
and
from like net.
I hope in, yeah, oh, sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I hope in 2024 we just get like a good Ross Perot candidate that just runs against both of them because now we're at a point where it doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't. The Republicans and Democrats are just as bad. I could flip a coin to figure out who to vote for if it's just the two of them.
Yeah.
And we need to
Well,
just get rid, like, remove the two-party system and money out of politics. That's the
you're
main
going to
thing.
have to do a lot of explaining to people in this community about who Ross Perot was and what he stood for, because I think you probably just shot that one over a lot of people's heads.
No, I'm talking about kind of like the merit of, like, once we have a third party.
Yep.
Like, my only point is that he's the most successful third party candidate.
Yep.
Like him, like, that's my only point alone.
Yeah.
Regardless of who he was and what his positions are. But I'm talking about like a third party candidate needs to challenge, and like once we do that, then the other one of the other two parties, then they're in the minority, and then we can go on a trajectory that makes it so that it's not beholden to the establishment once we get rid of money in politics. With
Yeah,
that.
and I know. I mean, I'm not trying to expose you. I'm not going to dox you, Ryan. But I do know at some point you were a supporter of a particular Uncle Bernie Sanders, right?
That's true.
And
I mean,
and
yeah, no one docs. Yeah, I mean, I even met him.
yeah, and I will tell you, like at the time when he was, I think he had a couple of different. There was a couple of different moments where he was doing a big national run. At those times, and it wasn't that long ago. I didn't really. I mean, I didn't support him because I felt like he was too far left for me, right? Um, However, in hindsight, and we all grow, we all mature, we all like learn new things. Like fuck, dude. I mean, if Bernie was running in 2024, I'd fucking campaign for him, you know. And that's different, different for me. Other people might see it differently, but I actually tend to agree with. I've seen like really ugly shit on the far left. I've been involved in politics. I've been involved in things here and there. I've seen things on the far right, um, and
Right?
I think Bernie is a good like. Given the way that things have changed, the goalposts have changed. He's like a good like center left candidate now. He could be, but I don't think he would go anywhere now. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
actually though,
it's funny how things change.
I kind of think though, um, he's he isn't really like he doesn't have a lot of guts. Like, I actually like his position, but if he were to stand harsher and actually run as a third party and not sell out to Hillary Clinton and the Democrats,
Hmm.
I mean, I would have respected it more. But he actually
Yeah,
didn't. Like, there was a point where he was doing some gutsy things, but then he's just, it's like
he
the
ran out of
reason why people
gas.
don't.
He ran out of gas.
Yeah, it's like that's really what it was. It's like once he kind of just started beginning to like sell it, like, okay, I'll endorse Hillary Clinton, but then this and this and this, then it just was the beginning of the end. And then at a certain point, it's just like people don't even know he's a senator anymore for a reason because he's just not really doing anything. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
he's not making, like, we need to say someone like, I'm willing to to say the Democrats, I'm willing to risk Trump being elected, uh, you know, because I actually stand on principle. Like, because it really doesn't matter who gets elected at this
yeah,
point. I mean,
yeah,
like, full sucks. Like,
yeah.
so just scare, like shock the entire system. But yeah,
Again, maybe if he's not in jail by the time that happens. But yeah, man. I mean, I live in California. I'm a lifelong Californian, and you know what? Fuck Gavin Newsom. I never voted for that guy. I don't stand for that version of. I mean, I was a big like Jerry Brown supporter going back down the rabbit hole, but yeah, this whole new wave of like progressive leftist Democrats, man, I could fucking do without. It's because you know what? I mean, I think what a lot of people say is true. Um, they are they're actually privileged. They have privilege, and so they can have these like wild ideas of like fucking virtue signaling kind of leftist progressive ideals. What that creates on the ground is chaos and confusion. Doesn't matter to them because they live in their little fucking cocoons, little bubbles.
Yeah, I feel like it was like once like in 2016 kind of more about like policy kind of, and then it just like went way over where it has nothing even to do with like economic policy or anything. It just
Yeah,
turned into this weird thing of you know, like I mean, here like as far as like the transgender, I mean, like, I'm just talking about stuff like that. Like they got obsessed with identity politics nonetheless.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah, it and it threw off a lot of their base, and I don't stand for any of that shit, man. I mean,
I
that's
mean, I'm not
there's
gonna
some really weird, creepy shit going on. I'm like, are you really like supporting this right now? Like even in California, like supporting the idea that like teachers and schools can, you know, hide, conversations that children have with their teachers from
yeah.
parents. I'm like,
It's like
fuck that, dude.
yeah, here's where it
Hell
lost
no.
me. Yeah,
And
exactly.
and
Here's
and,
where
and, and it's happening. It's happening. And watch it. It's happening. It's
it is.
happening.
Yeah, like here's where it lost me is like I remember it was like, all right, so we accepted like, you know, I guess homosexuality, gay marriage, things like that, absolutely, 100%. And then transgenderism, it's like, all right, so I gained a knowledge of, an understanding of gender dysphoria and this and that. I'm like, all right, so I mean, I'm not gonna be like Ben Shapiro when if someone is biologically born such and such and then they identify as such and such, like out of nothing other than respect, I'll,
Yeah.
call them their pronoun, but then it went way further, and it's
Man,
like now we gotta.
you just fucked yourself because you said Ben Shapiro, and now I'm listening to you, and I'm like, you fucking sound like Ben Shapiro.
I
Go
do.
ahead.
I don't know. I'm like
Sorry,
a
sorry. Go ahead. I'll
squeaky
get over
voice.
it. I'll get over it. Go ahead.
Yeah, but it's like I won't like get worked up about like like if someone wants to be called whatever pronoun, like I'll kind of like from my understanding of gender dysphoria, like I'll actually give it the respect and I'll call them that. But I'm not like. But then they want to take it the step where it's like, okay, so we want to do basically drag shows for kids.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Yeah. It's like now we're like, okay, so what are you doing? That has nothing to do with that. I mean, like, I'm not for anyone's rights or anyone being mistreated, but like, that's the
Yeah,
line.
but the way it's set up is like once you say you criticize that, then you become you get labeled as a fucking whatever, And I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm like I agree with you. I think with adults, sure, 18 and up, 21 and up, whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
But
because
when you enter the arena of like allowing young people, like it's this whole same thing. Who's the great catcher? The great Rami, right? Your prefrontal cortex is not even developed. These kids don't really know what's going on because, in fact, their brains are not yet fully fucking formed. And so to allow them, permit them to make life altering decisions based on a whim, especially once you start fucking with biology, is crazy.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, like I would say it's like this. Is like the way I think about it is it's a difficult and complex concept of like that for even an adult to understand. So I don't want to rush it to kids. Where I think what we should rather do is like more educate, maybe adults, just adults, and
Yeah.
then have those adults teach their children, and then slowly,
Yeah, no,
I guess
people don't.
but
It's very confusing. Like, so I think
having
there's somebody called Jonathan in the chat, and we're not going to call too much attention to Jonathan, but I will say, like the whole concept of drag is like one thing. Like Ryan, you could be a drag person, and on the weekends you like to do your thing. I could be a drag person and go out. Drag is like kind of like cosplay, right? You go out, you fucking, you cross dress, whatever. You go out and you.
I just deleted the mental pictures with that associated with that, but okay,
Okay. Sorry. But and
it's a
that's what
nice
it is, and
thing.
that's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about actually like physically altering the biological and physical composure of your body and genitalia, hell no, dude. Unless you're like an adult, you want to do it, go for it. But the shit I see they're doing to kids now, man, is fucking wild. And I agree with you. I think it's they're opening a door to I don't even know what the the end goal is here, but it's not good, dude. And I think we need to respect the space for kids to be kids and to like explore, have curiosity, but like
Yeah, but this could be
don't
like
fuck with
what
their
I'm saying is,
bodies. Don't fuck with their
yeah,
bodies, dude.
yeah, like what I would say is like at the very least, like that should be an issue where like if kids are going through an issue, like they should maybe have like some kind of level of support structure, that they could go to, but
Yeah.
not the other way around. Not the other way around, where like adults are going to kids and explaining freaky concepts. Because I would say it's like
No,
if they
that's
explain
terrible,
like
and especially if parents aren't aware of it, man. Because I'll tell you, as a parent, like I've come across a couple of situations where my kids' teachers have had conversations with them, and I'm like, what did they say? Really? Fucking shut that shit down, dude. I don't play that shit. I'm like this close to homeschooling, but where we're at right now is a good place. Like it's not happening, but I do know it happens in other places, and
I would
people take
say
advantage of it, man.
yeah, I would honestly say like my opinion, and I hope like this can be like more prevalent. Like, there's no shame in homeschooling. So like some people associate that with like weird, obscure Amish stuff or whatever, but there's no shame in homeschooling at all.
No,
Like,
I don't think so. I mean,
like there
before,
was,
I mean,
there was
schools are.
yeah,
I mean, in the whole like scheme of things, like how humans have been on this planet for how many millions of years, right? Um, Formal schooling is plus or minus about 100 years old, right? Before that, in the timeline, which is like a blip, we were all homeschooled, right? So yeah, there should not be any shaming around it.
yeah. Actually, you know what I would say. I went to a tech school, a vocational school in high school, and there was
Mm-hmm.
the person there was a new person who came in there homeschooled. That person became not only the valedictorian, but a person who had by far the highest GPA, I think, in the history of the school. So it's
Hmm.
like this is a very like parents can probably educate. I don't know. I think nothing other than um like that's a good thing if like somehow that can be worked out, like homeschooling. I mean, I have nothing other than respect for that,
Well,
if they can like
I mean,
figure it out.
the whole idea
It's
is that like you have to identify what the purpose is of what is the purpose of education, right?
to learn.
It's just to prepare children
Like,
for
yeah,
life, right? And
children do that.
you have
Yeah.
to ask yourself: is that actually possible to do within the confines of a classroom within a large building that is a school, which tends to mirror like a prison, right? You got to be here at a certain time. Oh, it's lunchtime. Everybody's on the yard, you know, and all the adults are looking out for fights and fucking, somebody gets in a fight and they get suspended and like it sounds a lot like fucking Polk County Jail, right? But homeschooling or the idea of like, raising your and we I mean, if you're a parent, um, we all do a certain level of homeschooling because our kids grow up in the home. But the real idea is like, obviously, yeah, you should be able to like raise your kids in an environment, and if you feel like the school is a good place, go for it. If you feel like the home is a good place, go for it. No shame.
Yeah, less than shame is like some people would associate as like a bad thing. I've just seen positive things.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah, like
homeschooling is on the upswing, man. You look at some of the data nationally, and there are more people that are when they can, take advantage of that. Like in small communities, it's hard for you can't quit your job and just homeschool your kids, but if you can get a critical mass of kids in a particular area, parents can maybe fund a particular like micro or homeschool. That's happening right now. There's a whole movement behind it, especially as some of the stuff that we're seeing in schools is happening and parents are just like finally paying attention, which is good.
yeah, like at the very least, it's like I'll put it this way: some of the stuff I seen, like when I see like grinder chats or whatever, it's like when I'm decoying, it's the adults when they're explaining, they try to like frame themselves as some kind of mentor, And my concern is how thin that line would be if we start implementing that in a school. Because the shit I've seen in those chats, like, disturbed me as a fully grown adult. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what's wrong with these people?
But that's already
But if that's going on,
that's already happening. So when you have
it's like kids
so
don't need that.
so let me try and break this down. So when you have parents that send their kids to school and fully have blind trust in the school, they don't know what's happening in the school. They don't get to go into the school. The school is not communicating to parents about what's happening in school. You just drop your kid off for how many hours a day? Like 8, right?
Hey,
I mean,
yeah, well,
that's a lot of time, and you don't know what's happening with your kid. Um, I'm not going to go as far as to say like there is grooming happening, but I will tell you that the potential for it is there, and it's fucking ripe, dude. You know? Yeah. So if there are any parents listening now, like fucking pay attention. You got your kids in schools, pay attention. Make sure you know what's happening in your kid's school. Make sure that, if you want to go visit your kid's school, they should let you come in and pop in and see what's happening. Not to say that like it's all bad. I don't think it's all bad, but I do think the potential for, and not just around like the issues that we're talking about. I mean, it could also be like around issues of like politics, right? People pushing leftist or right wing politics in the classroom. It's the same thing, right? Um, that's not the place. Those things should not be happening in schools. Period. Right?
absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. It's like it would be nothing like if it can disturb in a fully grown adult, then it'll horrify a child. And um, I'm against pushing like too much disturbing things because like usually it's like you wouldn't show kids like that's why we have readings. We wouldn't show kids like like a certain horror movie or certain things like that. Like they need to be kidified where a kid can watch it. It's like they should watch PG movies, not PG-13 movies, not rated R
Right.
movies.
Right.
It's
Right.
not like yeah. So it's like I feel like if we're throwing like some somewhat disturbing shit, because it's kind of like a once in a while thing that I remember you would, if you were a kid and you saw something that you weren't supposed to, that really fucks you up. Like
Yeah. No.
that causes
It's you don't get to unlearn that. You don't get to unexperience that. Right.
yeah. Like so
Yeah.
that's
No.
my issue is like
Yeah. And part of it is like normal growing up. Like you grow up and you see things that you're probably not supposed to see or experience things that you're not supposed to experience. But most of that, when I'm talking to you about this, is like your friends, right? We've all had the friend growing up that like, try to push fucking dope on us or pot or drinking or, back in the day, the fucking Playboy magazine, right? Um, but I mean, and that's a normal part of like socialization. But when it's coming from an official government entity institution known as public education, that's a fucking problem.
yeah, yeah, that's been my issue.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so the issue, yeah, that's kind of the issue with Jonathan. Like when he was saying that was like it's like he's not denying that the line being drawn is very, very thin between what we're seeing on Grinder. And like the weird issue is he actually objected to pedophile like predator catchers catching on Grinder. And I would say I would say this, if you are in like want to protect the LGBTQ community, you should also want to protect their youth. And I will tell you this from my personal experience, the youth are not safe on Grinder. And every catch, I don't care if you do all your catches on Grinder, they should not be stopped or deterred. People need to be catching pedophiles on Grinder. Like they are not safe on Grinder. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
no, no.
it's
Yeah,
not targeting gay people;
that whole
it's
thing was
protecting gay people.
a fucking sad like justification of, I don't know what he was trying to justify. But yeah, and at the end of the day, the way I see it, and different catchers have different methods, right? There are certain catchers like let's see, um, like Alex, right? Alex does like these long term, like 2 to 3 month, 4 month, 6 month, like talking to people and catching some really fucking like sick individuals, right? That's one. Tommy has a style where he's more like the kind of quick catching style, right? People can criticize either one. However, at the end of the day, the damage to the child is the same, right? If a child is hurt, or if there's a potential for a child to be hurt, it doesn't matter if it was somebody that was talking to a child for 6 months or 2 days, right?
Well,
It's
yeah,
still the same.
but, yeah, but Jonathan, though, you did criticize Tommy for catching just on grinder or having a lot of grinder catches, and I certainly have a
Me?
lot of.
I did? I didn't.
No, Jonathan, he's in chat.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of pivots here.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
you have to consider like what is the eventual harm that is committed, and the harm is unbiased towards whether it's a 5 hour connect or a 6 month connect, right? Child's harmed for life, child's harmed for life, right? So
yeah. I
fuck
mean,
Jonathan, fuck Jonathan, fuck Jonathan for even trying to justify that shit, man.
on Tommy, have you seen the Weld County reports on Blue website? Well, I don't really trust
What are
Blue
you
as a
talking
credible
about,
source.
dude?
I kind of think she's unhinged. I mean, on Blue's website, like the infamous Blue. I mean, from what I've heard, I mean, I think obsessing that much over one person, even if you like really hate them, I think is just weird. Honestly, like, so I I have just every reason to not take her as a credible source.
Yeah.
Um,
So what other questions about California can I answer for you, Ryan? Anybody in the chat has questions about California? Anybody?
well,
I'm
well, I don't know.
here.
I mean, like, we kind of went to that concept, but yeah, pretty much. I mean, I guess you have to like,
Anything else?
I guess you have to be rich to live there because you have to make 100K a year, like, or you
Oh,
can't.
you got to make more than that, dude. Yeah, the cost of living in California has absolutely exploded. But it depends on where you live. Like if you want to live in San Francisco or LA or San Diego, but there are like rural parts of California. California is a big state, and so it's everything from like desert to like we have like the redwoods of the northern coast. We have the coast. We have the Sierras. It's almost like a big country within one state. Um, but even in the poorest areas, it's not cheap to live here. You are correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay. So Jonathan, what if what if a catcher is from what I heard, you did criticize Tommy for just catching on grinder. That like is that like am I crazy or did that not happen? Did he not like
What are we
criticize
looking
Tommy
at?
for
What are we? Let me
Jonathan?
see. Hold on.
Yeah,
Ryan, he makes evidence sometimes, according to the reports. I don't even know about that,
I
man.
mean
I
that
don't.
yeah, I mean whatever that I mean that would be another issue if at that, but I'm talking about like um you know from what
Dude,
I know.
Jonathan is just fucking. He's like he's in a he's in a sunken place, right? He's struggling, man, and he should just listen. There's a lot of people in this community that are telling people like, you just got to go, just log off your account, go. I mean, take a poll in the chat. We're not going to do that, but I'm like, Jonathan is just. I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll listen to them, see if they have something of value to offer, some information, but I just have not seen that from Jonathan yet, and I'm a pretty lenient person, so I just don't fucking think
Yeah,
he's
but yeah, and at the very least, reporting catcher, trying to take down catcher channels, isn't protecting the LGBTQ community at all. If that's his issue, and I mean, I just don't want to accept any gaslighting here. I know that Jonathan was against catching on Grinder, either maybe he said it just exclusively or to some capacity. I know that happened. Like I don't know if can you back me up on that, or do you remember? I
No,
don't know.
I remember that, dude. I remember that, and I remember exactly where it was coming from. He felt like Tommy or other catchers were targeting the LGBT um, community, right?
Yeah, and
Right?
here's the thing.
Right?
Listen, like, yeah, and here's the
And
thing.
so and yeah, I'm like, you can sit and say like, oh, okay, maybe let's think about it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't no catcher is responsible for you know targeting a particular type of like pred. The preds are all the same, whether it
Oh yeah,
be
right.
the quick like 5, 6, 10, 12 hour pred that is trying to flip a quick like trick on a young person, or the kinds of preds that Alex catches, right? It's all the fucking same. So I don't care, you know?
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
but
it just doesn't
I would
matter.
make
Like,
this point though, like when like John, I don't think it's really like truly caring about the LGBTQ community, because like that would be like the equivalent of saying like, all right, kid, you can just do whatever you want. That's not truly caring for the kid. Like caring for the kid is protecting the kid, and it's like I would say, listen up, LGBTQ community. Like if we're catching someone who happens to share their same orientation, we're protecting your young. We're trying to make sure that
yeah.
predators
Here,
don't get them.
listen,
We're
listen,
trying to protect
listen.
them.
Gay men adopt children too, right? Gay men have like, they're able to like, they have families, they have children. I'm like, come on, man. Like it's universal. It's about fucking kids. It's not about
Yeah,
who or how or why. It's about fucking children. And if you don't authentically care about children, it's going to become apparent, right?
yeah.
And it's going to become weird. You're like trying to justify, like, I don't know, maybe he does have something to say there. No, fuck that, bozo. He needs to fucking bounce, dude. He's a fucking, and I don't say this about many people in the community, but Jonathan is a fucking bozo. He's a creep, and people need to stop entertaining his bullshit, dude. Especially with the fucking weird like border shit, dude, and kids. I don't even want to get into that right now. I'm trying to defend California as a fucking golden state right now. I don't want to let Jonathan's bullshit overshadow that.
No, the thing is, you brought sexuality into it because you were saying the catchers were in the wrong for just catching on grinder. You said that. You brought sexuality into it, and you said that uh, certain catchers, if they say any, if they like, I think it was like Alex. He made that like introduction or whatever, and because of that, he would report a channel for it. So no, and nothing
Tommy
other than
boy,
Jonathan. Jonathan brought sexuality into it.
Tommy boy, take 2 steps back, fuck your face, and turn off Fox News. Go,
Isn't California ravaged with homelessness and crime?
go smell
Yes.
some tulips.
So.
It's not, dude. It's not. Tommy boy watches too much Fox News.
I'm
That's
not.
okay.
No, actually, I'm not even talking about 2019. I'm actually talking about. We can be updated about this shit. So, like, how about like when you said to me that you were gonna report NVCAP because of something Alex said in his intro because it didn't seem like a believable enough introduction for the support of the LGBTQ community and transgender community. You said that to me, so I'm here in 2023 and that happened. And also I know that I'm talking about an issue with
Brad,
you and Tommy,
this is
where
the
you
best.
you
Like this
said,
is the best. Thaw the Hunchback farting out meth class. Jonathan is a George Soros simp. That's
yeah,
probably
but I
the
remember,
most intelligent fucking
yeah, but I remember
comment
you
ever.
saying though to Tommy. So I'm not talking about that issue. I don't like that's not you know. I'm talking about the issue where you were saying to Tommy that he was targeting gay people on Grinder. Like, let's talk just about that because that was what we were talking about before. Why miss transgender and catching together? I don't know, Jonathan. Why are you?
Ryan, we've already don't go down the rabbit hole, dude. We've already settled that. We know
Oh
what the
no,
agenda is.
no. I mean, this is MV. Yeah, but like, here's the thing. Like, I get that this is MVCAP though, and we use people as firewood here. So we go down rabbit holes, and
Okay,
we
all right.
do kinds
So
of
it's not
shit.
NVCAP, it's VCAP.
Yeah, like we're just we go. It's like we go there where we shouldn't.
Okay.
This is like
All
it's
right.
NVCAP. Like maybe other sane spaces, they're like, all right, we'll not entertain this and that, and come on now. But this is NVCAP Fireside, where we go
I
there.
get it, but you're not going to get anything new or like introspective or like mind bending from Jonathan. But go for it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it might be mind bending, might bend some minds in a bad way. Um, let's see. Doesn't California get all its water via Cement River that pulls from the Colorado River? Is this true? Is California bumming off of Colorado?
Southern California is for sure. Yeah, not Northern California. Tommy Boy
Damn.
does not know his whatever fucking like Christian private school Christian private school Tommy Boy went to. He didn't learn geography because California is a big state, and Northern California has a plethora of fresh water. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Tommy
and with
Boy's
yeah, and with Jonathan.
Tommy Boy needs to log off and fucking take a gummy, um, and just go to bed, dude. You've been going hard, man. Work on your next exposure, but this ain't the space for you, Tommy Boy.
There's a space for anyone.
I know. I'm just
The
talking to Tommy Boy.
Yeah, this is like the I don't know what you call it.
Tommy Boy secretly loves California. He was here recently. He loved it.
Oh, so he secretly
It's
loves California.
it's better than Colorado, I'll tell you that.
Well, honestly, okay, I'll just admit, like, maybe I could be, have like a new Colorado awakening, but I went to Colorado once as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And uh yeah, it wasn't a good experience. We went to Keystone, Colorado.
Yeah.
Um
Colorado's terrible, dude.
yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
apparently it's like I guess it's like really overpriced and the air pressure is like like or whatever it's called, the what pressure again is it? I forget. I don't know why that's
I mean,
slipping
the
me.
air pressure, it's high. It's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
elevation. Oh, the elevation. I think that's what it
Yeah.
is. And um, yeah, there's a bunch of shit where it's like it was kind of fucked up. It was weird. It was
Yeah, I mean,
it was
Colorado is like
nice.
one of the places that was like the destinations for the end road for the Trail of Tears. That's where they would like drag Native Americans to. They're like, we're going to kick you off your land in, wherever, and we're going to march you to Colorado, you know. And then people are like, yeah, we love Colorado. Yeah, nice try.
Yeah,
It's a
I didn't know
shithole.
Jonathan was in Colorado. You should go to California. You'll feel more at home. Um,
Colorado is the fifth. I mean, California is the fifth largest economy in the world, dude. Tommy boy, pull up. You want to talk statistics and economics? Let's go, bud. Come on.
Tommy Boy's California.
He doesn't.
Can have a
See,
Tommy Boy versus
Tommy
SUV,
Boy's upset
right?
because he can't afford to live in California, like
I
I
don't think
can.
anyone can afford to live in California.
I live here. I have two
But
homes in California. Yeah.
must be rich.
Tommy Boy's just jealous because he can't stand that a fucking Latino has more fucking wealth than he does. That's okay.
Yeah, but I mean that
He
might be true though. But it's like how
he's
sustainable is a
he's
how
triggered. It's okay.
how sustainable is a state though if like you would have to make I guess $200,000 to have like two homes in
You gotta make
California?
like you gotta make like 400K, bro.
Probably more. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, like shit.
bro, we're pulling in fucking big money. So, you make money, and then with the money that you make, you invest it, and then you start making more money, real estate, et cetera, et cetera. Um, I'm good. Let's go. You know, I love California. I was born here. I'm gonna fucking die here. Um, Tommy Boy, I guess he like has a place in Colorado, and now he's living in Amsterdam for some reason. He couldn't handle the heat of being, a true American patriot, and he's like, you know, couldn't take the heat, man. It's hard. I get it. I get it.
Yeah. She said I visited California once and hated it. Just the end. Thin.
Tommy Boy needs to pull up, man. He's talking too much shit from the chat. Who the fuck goes to Walgreens, dude? Nobody. Uh,
Poor people like me and Tommy Boy.
yeah, I don't visit Walgreens or I don't go to those places, man.
I go to an upscale Starbucks or something. I don't know. Or probably Starbucks is even poor.
Yeah, Starbucks is trash, dude. We have like Blue Bottle. You heard of Blue Bottle? That's where we get our
No
coffee, man. We get our coffee from Blue Bottle.
shit.
Look it up.
Highlight. Didn't Walgreens shut down all their stores in major metropolitan California cities due to increased petty theft via Wait, what? Petty theft via lime scooters. So like people in yellow scooters are stealing. Actually, I've been hearing some crazy laws where if like someone can basically rob a store if it's under $950. I hope that's not true. One, they'll probably only buy a Snickers bar, but still, I hope that's not true. Is that true?
I think it's like 500, dude. It's actually lower. Yeah, yeah. But I think Tommy Boy's suffering from a combination of too much Fox News and too much Adderall, and so it's a bad combination. I hope he gets better, but it's not good. It's not good, man. Yeah.
Crate and Barrel. Where's Crate and Barrel?
Crate and Barrel's the store. I think they sell like furniture and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Someone in chat just mixed it.
I do not need a pool boy. I have a pool girl. Um, she comes once a week. Everything's fine. She comes once a week. No joke. Ha ha ha. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. But listen, I agree. I agree with you a lot on the fucking politics of California and the stuff that we talked about. But I mean, I still would never. I would not change anything about like where I was born, where I live, and where I choose to die. It's a beautiful state. Like I live like 20 minutes from the ocean, the Pacific
We
Ocean.
choose to die. That's grim. Already planning that.
Well, we're all gonna die someday, Ryan, right?
Okay.
So I plan to die here. I'm not gonna run off to Europe and like live some kind of fantasy fake world and go work for a American company in Europe and be like the Euro boy. I've done that, man. I've spent time in Europe. Um, it's cool, but the Wi-Fi slow. The politics are way too far left, and there's far too many white people for me. So I'll say that.
Wait, you're not a white person?
Me? Hell no, dude.
Oh
No.
shit. Oh, is that? Was that in that profile picture?
What?
Your profile picture. Is that Chuck
Oh,
Norris?
that's yeah, it's Chuck Norris, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, then I remember there was one guy with like glasses or something, and then I'm trying to figure out. Oh, so I don't know. I wasn't sure what you were trying to portray.
Yeah, it's Chuck
So,
Norris. It was just a quick whim, just changing accounts. Yeah.
and what's with what does the Mendigo thing mean? Because I don't.
You gotta look it up, dude. You know,
Oh,
it's some manly shit, like laying down the fucking law, laying down fucking rope, laying down fucking some shit,
bro, that's Chuck Norris.
Back on PPC.
Didn't Chuck Norris die in 1880?
Chuck Norris was actually never even alive, man. He was never
Is he
even
still
born.
alive? I
Yeah,
actually
dude.
haven't. I actually don't know one movie he was in or anything, but I just know he's like in. I
He
guess what
okay, so
the
he
last movies.
he's been in a bunch of like shitty movies, but if you go back and look, he was in some of the early like Bruce Lee kung fu movies. So do yourself a favor and look up I don't know, anybody in the chat, Enter the Dragon, Revenge of the Dragon, like some of the early Bruce Lee films. Some dope ass fucking shit.
So okay, so I have like here's what I would say. There's certain kind of genres that my mind just goes to sleep to. Like my
Hmm.
mind just can't function and can't really like and and be interested in. It's like
Hmm.
westerns. I think Chuck Norris was in probably a lot of westerns.
Yeah, that was
Um,
after his early stuff. Yep.
and so like westerns, I can't get through a western. Any kind of fiction, like Star Wars, can't get through that. Um, or probably like those old Japanese. Like a lot of people kind of hype them up, but I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm just not. I can't get into that.
Have you heard of the 310 to Yuma?
Nope.
So it's a newer western based on like the old western styles, but it's a pretty fascinating film. Um, I love westerns. I mean, I live in the West, so it's kind of part of my the fabric of who I am. But yeah,
Yeah,
the I think the 310 to Yuma. Anybody in the chat can correct me. It's a good one.
yeah. I
Um,
love Easterns because I live in the East.
what do you watch, Ryan? What floats your boat?
Just Easterns.
Okay.
Yeah.
As Tommy Boy said, don't come east when the Tetris
Not
fall
sure what an Eastern
snaps
is.
off. Okay. All right, Tommy Boy.
Don't come east. Just I don't know. I'm just reading it. Just starts with "Don't come east. Don't go there." When that San Andreas fault snaps off and y'all are stuck on a rock with your electric cars. Yeah, what do you? I saw a movie about that. What are you guys gonna do then when the
But
fucking when the
when the San Andreas
California fucking
fault
breaks
when the
off?
San Andreas fault breaks off, I'll still have better internet than Tommy Boy in fucking tulip ridden Amsterdam. Yeah.
Yeah, that's honestly that's kind of true. I can only if only if it's somewhat realistic. I like that's the only scenario where I could probably get it to watch it. But if it's just totally unrealistic,
Yeah.
then I don't know. I don't have the I don't get it. I'd have to learn someone else.
What's the last movie that you watched that you enjoyed?
Shit, I don't even know.
What about like TV series, anything? Like you watch Black Mirror, Breaking Bad, any of that stuff?
Breaking Bad. I fucks with Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad's good shit, yeah.
Actually, now it's like my attention span is it's like the general attention span is going so small that like they'll just show clips of shows,
Yep.
and been seeing that. I guess I might
Yep.
actually see the shows. Um, but yeah, Breaking Bad. Um, yeah, I've under a rock, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if people watch. Um,
If Chuck Norris went on to catch the Pred would take himself to jail.
how old is Chuck Norris? Isn't he?
He's old now, dude. He's definitely old. Yeah.
No, I don't watch TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is the worst, dude. TikTok is like the worst thing for your brain. Yeah. TikTok is actually like we don't like to talk about it, but it's like Chinese terrorism committed upon the minds of young American children. Because
Yeah, actually,
if you watch TikTok in other countries, they throttle it differently. They allow different content. It's very in China. TikTok is very like educational. It's informative. And here, when you watch TikTok, it's fucking just like the lowest of the low, like causing massive waves of like mental retardation upon young children in the United States of America.
yeah, like how do I? Something I kind of take issue with is Instagram, where it's like you just watch it, you see a bunch of materialistic bullshit. I don't. Here's something I'll never understand. I don't know why I get recommended fucking Andrew Tate stuff. I don't like hearing about that shit. But just like they throw all these millionaire gurus and things like that, and I don't know. Just after a while, it's like, what's the world coming to? But it pops up, and I
Yeah.
visit it.
I mean, maybe something in the algorithm is saying like, Ryan, you could learn something from the Andrew Tate school of like being a man,
Hustle's
right?
University.
Being a fucking alpha, dude. You know, I don't know. The algorithm's got you locked in, bro. Just watch it. Let it. Don't guess it. Just like go down. Just go with it. You know.
I
Let
saw
the
this fucking
algorithm take you for a ride.
I saw this fucking millionaire guru saying like they were talking on like I guess a podcast or something saying, yeah, I don't believe in a like a 7 day work week. I believe in like a I don't know what the fuck he said, but he said something like he every day is 6 hours to him, and that's a day. So I guess it's 21 days in a week. So like if I have 3 days in a day and it's 21 days in a week, I'm kicking your ass. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like you hear shit
Yeah,
like that.
that's
It's so
fuzzy
fucking
math, dude.
stupid.
Yeah, that's not based in reality for 99.9% of the people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to bounce out of here. I thought I'd come up and talk with you, Ryan. I appreciate the fact that you have me up. Nobody in the chat has attacked me except for Tommy Boy, but he has his coming too. Because Mandingo Studios is ramping up. We've got a full expose coming out on Tommy Boy and his, fake patriotism. So that's coming soon. And I appreciated the fact that we were up here and we did not fucking talk about any of the bullshit. We just had a conversation. So thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Take care. Peace.
Yeah. FCC actually didn't get eaten by alligators on stream. So
Nope. I'm here. I'm good. All
yeah.
right. Peace, man. Take
Yeah.
care.
But when people go into Ender Tate University, they come out as a drag queen. Ender Tate is controlled opposition. He does not want to talk about Jews. Well, actually, yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, if Andrew Tate was, like, against the Matrix or whatever, then why the fuck is YouTube, which is owned by Google, shoving it in my face? So, they're definitely not out of the Matrix. Like, the Matrix is saying, listen to this, you know? Yeah. I honestly will say, though, I'm not gonna front. I do hate watch a lot of shit. I guess even predator catching. Like I guess in a forum it's hate watching, like in true crime stuff, because it's like when we're seeing a predator get interrogated, we're basically hate watching the predator, rightfully so. And when we watch maybe true crime stuff, we're hate watching the suspect. So I mean, I can't own my hate watching, but you know, yeah. But I think as a consequence, it got me to like be recommended a bunch of bullshit. It's like the opposite of what I agree with. Um, Did you see Henry Rollins buying a teen in the? I don't know who Henry Rollins is in the '80s total d bag. No, I don't know. I don't know who Henry Rollins is. Well, everyone knows who this Henry Rollins is. Another person I have no idea who they're. Black Flag. Henry Rollins. Black Flag was his band, Ryan. Look up Henry Rolling Bullying. Whether I like him or not, I have learned from Ryan. He pushed my thinking. That matters 100%. Appreciate that. Um, Look up Henry Rolling Bullying. So that's a band. Now, what is a band? I don't know. I need to think of another thing to argue with or someone to fight with. Trying to think. I need someone to pull up a provoking topic that I know of. Oh, someone was a bully 40 years ago. They are a D-bag. Right, a music band. Henry Rollins bullying interviewer. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, my thing is, wait, like, who is the interviewer though? Because I kind of find it cringe when bullying is applied to anyone else other than maybe like children. But it's like I kind of cringe when bullying is applied to adults. Because like, if you're gonna let someone else have the upper hand over you, you know, like it's like you're an adult. Once garbage, always garbage. In the 1950s in London, there was a street where politicians selected kids to take away. What the fuck? Make make bullying great again. No, I mean like that's a kid thing though. It's like between kids. Like if it happens. But it's like but it's kinda like Roland's an adult bullying. Oh. I didn't know he was there was a teenager involved. I did not know that. I don't even know who Roland's is. I'm just learning about all this. It's like I kinda think bullying implies having an inevitably having an arguably upper hand and then abusing that. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's I could see how that could happen, like to a kid, but the world is run by the devil. Too many devil workers on this earth. Ryan, Joe Rogan did somewhat a recent interview with them. If you watch that, you will get a pretty good understanding of who he really is. Kind of long though. Yeah, I can sit through a long Joe Rogan interview. Like something about that can captivate my attention. That's based on real provoking shit. It's like he's better than anything like NVCAP Fireside could be. Like it's like long it's like thought provoking shit. Like he'll have physicists on. He'll talk about getting to the bottom of whether the aliens are real or not. He'll get the real questions answered. He'll bring the shit. So yeah. Yeah, adult bullying a teenager. Why is an adult even interacting with a teenager? Doesn't make any sense. Jimmy Savile was given 24/7 access to Buckingham Palace and was friends with King Charles. I heard a lot of suspicious stuff with the royal family or whatever. One I think is the most bullshit. The royal family is somehow sensationalized. It's the most cringe thing possible. I couldn't give one fuck about any of that shit. But at the very least, that's like the first thing. But I heard all kinds of fucked up shit. with that, where they have a history of incest, where they wanted to keep the I mean, literally, like they wanted to keep it in the family, like their blood or something. So they actually were doing a lot of incest, and that's how they learned incest was bad through the royal family. So the very impeccable royal family, they had to learn incest was bad through trial and error. That's just the things that people have done in history is so fucked up. It's like, could you imagine being pressured as the right thing to do? Is like, bro, I can't. That just broke my brain. That's not even human at that point. That's like Hills of Eyes shit. So basically, there's not much of a difference between the royal family and the Hills of Eyes. They're the same kind of people. And the teenager was interviewing him, and Rollins was barely an adult. Well, I don't. Okay, I'm kind of confused with the story. Is it an adult talking to a kid? Is it a kid talking to a kid? Is it a kid talking to an adult? I gotta get the story straight, bro. Heck on. That's not that that is an excuse, but I'm pretty sure that was back when he was big into drinking and drugs. He's sober now. Your generation wouldn't care about the royals or history. I think rightfully so, because it's stupid. The royals. Okay, so give me one reason why we should care about the royals. I mean, conflating that with history is kind of one thing, but so Jeff was having a stream where he called up Janae and wanted to drag her. Anyone know if she ever went on panel? I don't know, but yeah, it's not of interest to me. If that's going on though, I mean, interests people. I mean, I guess. Oh, she did. So she pulled up. They're gonna have a respectful conversation on their Christian religion. So apparently she did. Yeah, I saw something on Joe Rogan where they talked about how planes got quieter, and I remember the days when if a plane went by, it would everyone would hear it, and it would be something that would interrupt the conversation. But over the years, they slowly went more quiet to where now you would have to like look in the sky and pay attention to find a plane. Yeah, but I saw that in Joe Rogan. That was an interesting thing. I think it was with Neil deGrasse Tyson, which I mean, he kind of has issues with alien denial. Like he denies aliens. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's kind of in it with the aliens. Not gonna lie. I mean, they made a deal somewhere where it's just like he's gonna make the best arguments he can to just convince the humans that there's no aliens, nothing to worry about. But there are. Is Gen A the one that sounds like a Californian crazy Karen? I don't think so. Habsburgs almost united all of Europe. I wish they did, so Gen A wouldn't be going around spreading hearsay. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I disagree with Gen A on was like that someone, like an internet stalker, showing up to your home, your dwelling, where your family is and everything, and then going into your instincts. Where, yeah, I mean, you're gonna fight the dude. I think that's completely reasonable. Gen A has reported that hell expands daily to accommodate me. Yeah. Is Jeff still having the stream, or yes, that's going on strong. It's kind of like a late alternative to that right now. Cool's DNA test showed that he had. Oh, I don't know what that is. Janae or Kurt on panel? I guess Kurt probably. Just to see what would happen. Just out of curiosity. So we kind of heard from Janae. So I don't know. But yeah, as an experiment. I was looking forward to being in heaven and looking down at me being burnt in hell. Nice, nice religion. No, I don't. In all honesty, I think that here's the real truth: is I think what that the reality is, we never really existed in the first place, and then when you die, you find that out. That's all I would say. You become inevitably enlightened. Yeah, and ending on that dark note, probably we'll kind of the panel. It's been going on for a while. Bob Laser, Ramirez 51 is going to Tim Pool's Mythcast show of his pet inbred gay alien. Oh, I don't know. Actually, yeah, I'll end it here.